Hello, cosmic beings. Welcome to Being Cosmick. If this is your first time here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. I am so glad that each and every one of you are here. So we're going to do a collective message today. With that, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. And I'm going to take a step aside to let spirit pass through. All right, come through, spirit. What does the collective need to know today? Let's get into it. Okay. Okay, so the first card that came out is Vantage Point. See beyond your current situation to a better future. Breathe in potential. Hmm. So this is definitely, I call it zooming out. It's definitely that concept of basically zooming out. So you're looking at things more from a bird's eye view. Um, when we're in it, it's that saying like hindsight's always 2020. When we're in it, it can be difficult to see it on all sides, see it for what it is. And so by switching the viewpoint on it, that can allow a different experience to come in. What? On with the tarot. Okay. All right. What else, spirit? Ooh, which tarot? Well, let's see. We'll pull from this one because I grabbed it. But I have another one out here, so maybe we'll grab that too. All right. What else does the collective need to know about seeing beyond their current situation for a better future? Okay, so we've got the High Priestess. Um, and the Page of Wands. Okay. So the High Priestess is very much just a second. Okay, so stop. All right. So the High Priestess is okay. I just heard to read it. Okay, so there's something in the book for this one. Give me just a minute. All right. See knowledge from within and without. Okay. And so that's going with that theme here of see beyond your current situation. Breathe in potential, change your perspective. So the high priestess represents deep wisdom. Sometimes that wisdom comes from outside of us, and sometimes it comes from within. I'll show you the card in case you want to see if there's any other messages for you from it. Um, Sometimes this wisdom comes from within, but it rarely just lands in our laps accidentally. This card encourages you to embrace your own power, inner wisdom, and knowledge, and to pursue such things outside of yourself as well. What are you seeking? What questions do you need answered? And what can you do to find them? This may represent you, or it may be an indication there is someone you can turn to for help, a mentor, an elder, or someone you respect in your spiritual community. Don't expect this person to just hand you the answers. You're still going to have to do the hard work for yourself. Be aware of looking at things as black or white, right or wrong. Sometimes you have to accept that you can't know everything right now. That could be part of this too, is sometimes it's kind of like being in that liminal space, that in between space where you want to know why something's happening. And the point of being in that space is to surrender, to trust the process, to release the need to control, to release the attachment to outcome. So that could be part of what's going on right now too, is just to trust and accept. I just heard the caterpillar soup. So trust and accept that process of of being, so with the caterpillar soup, that's the analogy of a butterfly where the caterpillar completely turns into a DNA soup basically, and then the cells reassemble and it turns into a butterfly. And so it's that kind of what Spirit's coming through saying is that if the caterpillar was sitting there stressed out and worrying about why it's turning into a DNA soup, it would just go against that process. It would throw resistance into it. And so this is one of those like trust yourself and know that sometimes you're not going to know everything in that moment about that situation. Okay. And then we've got the Page of Wands. So I'll show you this one as well. Let's see. Maybe. Here we go. Hopefully you can see it. It can be intimidating to start on a new path, but inspiration and passion can help you take that first step. Um, this card represents eagerness and enthusiasm. Perhaps it's time to look at the paths you might be missing due to fear or hesitation and give yourself the boost you've been waiting for. New beginnings can be both exciting and frightening. Okay. Okay. Let's see. And then we've got the Nine of Wands. Let's drop it. Okay, so the Nine of Wands is saying that you may be battered and bruised right now. Um, and that could be metaphorical as well. For a lot of you, I'm picking up that this is like metaphorically bruised, like this is exhausted energy, just that like you've been going through it, you've been doing the shadow work, you've been doing the internal work. Maybe, physical things in your reality right now aren't exactly what you would like them to be. Things of that nature. But the message here is that you will survive to fight another day, or maybe you won't have to fight at all. Um, says life is full of battles, large and small. The trick is to choose which ones you're going to fight for. Are you using precious energy on issues too small to really matter? Do you seem to end up fighting the same battle over and over again? There's no dishonor in walking away from a fight if it isn't worth the effort. If you're fighting for something important, don't give up. You're tougher than you think. So with this card, changing the vantage point, um, what could be happening is maybe you are allowing your energy to drain in situations that it would actually be better for you to just disengage from. Okay. Pull a few from here. What else does the collective need to know about this situation, Spirit? What else? Okay, so you've got Four of Earth, which is Four of Pentacles, and that can symbolize being too frivolous or too cautious with money. It's also talking about good business decisions and giving to those less fortunate. Okay, so how does that play into this? Okay, so with the being too frivolous or too cautious with money, that could be where the change in your viewpoints will be very helpful. Zooming out a little bit and looking more long term, you can ask for clarity too. So you can sit and kind of like do like a visualization where you go, okay, I'm going to zoom out of this situation. I'm going to expand it out and ask for assistance from whoever it is you work with, angels, spirit guides, God, spirit, the divine, whatever you work with, ask for assistance in this And what you can do is you can ask to gain some clarity on the situation from a zoomed out perspective. And so just kind of allow yourself to basically you can even do that as part of the visualization. So like you see yourself being yourself in whatever room you're in, and then zoom out and like look at what your house would look like from the bird's eye view, or wherever you live, then, or wherever you're at the moment. So you zoom out of that location, and then zoom out to like the top of the trees, and then zoom out to even further, and just keep going out and out until you're looking at like you're the speck on the earth from outer space. And then when you're in that energy of where you're really zoomed out, then you can ask for more clarity and guidance, because that will allow you to access a little bit more of the energy that isn't so attached to where you're at right now, to your outcome, to your, you know, this right here now situation. It can help give you some perspective and some insight. And then also clarity and guidance can come in that state as well, that will allow you some insight or suggestion or guidance on what to do in the next step. And for a lot of you, I am picking up, especially with this Four of Earth card coming out, this could be definitely be something financially. For some of you, I'm picking up that it's something to do with like your passion, your creativity, something of that nature. Okay. Anything else want to come out? I'm going to actually pull from this one. All right. Since finances did come out, we're going to pull one more from the Angels of Abundance. And see if there's any guidance on the finances for the collective. Whoa! Was that okay? Okay, so the two that came out right away was power of prayer. So it says to give this situation to the divine for uplifting and healing. Be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayers. Be sure to act upon the divine guidance given to you in response to your prayers. So the other thing too is praying is asking. Meditation is listening. And that's kind of a good way to differentiate between the two. And so if you are feeling guided to step into this energy and then ask, or talk to spirit, and just kind of surrender it. And you can even do something like that where you're just like, I surrender this. Okay, the second card that came out is declutter. And this is definitely something that clutter can absolutely affect the energy of your space. And so this can be a physical decluttering of your actual space. This can also be like mentally decluttering. If you've been, doing a lot of the spinny thinking and going round and round and round, this could be a message that doing some sort of mindfulness, meditation, something of that nature can help pull you out of that energy. For a lot of you, I'm picking up that this is like literal decluttering, though, like in the physical space. And with that, when you declutter and release items that no longer serve, that are no longer in the energy of where you're at now and who you are, moving into being, when you release those items, you're actually clearing up energetic space as well to bring in the new. And so that's something, maybe this is your confirmation to go ahead and do that. And then the last one is donations, tithing, and charitable work. And that came out with this Four of Earth energy as well. So it says, give joyfully to organizations or people who spiritually support and inspire you. Know that your generosity will be returned to you manyfold in miraculous ways. The time, supplies, money, or other resources you donate will ensure that your positive energy multiplies. So if you've been feeling called to donate, then this would definitely be confirmation. And you can donate with things other than just money as well. You can donate time, resources, Oh yeah, it went through that. Just as other resources. Um, and so yeah, this could just be that little extra nudge to do that if you've been feeling called to do so. And also it's one of those when you give joyfully and even if it's $1, let's say, when you give that joyfully with no attachments to that, that energy will pull you into that abundant energy right away. And then it will help you to open up and allow other resources into your life. And so it can really open up that giving and receiving energy, basically, that we sometimes close ourselves off to, especially in, our current society right now. And we're very programmed to shut ourselves off from our abundance resources. And so a way to open that up is really being generous and being and having it come from a place of pure generosity and joy, not out of obligation. And that's the other thing too, is out of obligation, that changes the dynamic and the energy of that action, basically. So, well, that's beautiful. Awesome. Well, okay. With that, I just felt the energy leave, so I'm going to go ahead and leave this here. If you like this message, you can hit that like button. Definitely keep letting me know in the comments below if these messages are resonating. I love getting the confirmation and I love talking to you guys in the comments. So definitely keep that up. If you'd like to see more messages from me, you can hit that subscribe button. It is free. It doesn't cost anything. And I will see you on the next message. Bye.